Hello, we're getting started on Insight Timer. See you soon. Oh, there we go. Hi, come over to Insight Timer. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Oh, look, Sandra Lee, you made it. Welcome, friends. Hi, Deborah. Good evening. Will, hi, Denise. Good evening to you as well. Welcome, friends. Grateful to be together. We'll wait about a minute or so before I get started with our little introduction. Hi, Lori. Good morning. Wonderful to see all of you. So grateful to be together. Hmm. So for today's session, we will not have music. Um, as always, if you prefer music for your practice, I invite you to, if you have the luxury of having this device, you can have music playing in the device. You can just be with your breath and whatever else is coming up. Hi, April. Hi, Cindy Lou. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Zawadi. Great to see you. Welcome. Beautiful. Okay, so I have a funny thing. Well, it's not funny, but in about 15 minutes, I'm going to hop up out of our practice for 30 seconds because I made the most bomb soup last night, like the best soup I've ever made in my life. And I forgot to put it in the refrigerator before I went to sleep. I was reading this book and I got really into it and I completely forgot. So I'm attempting a morning reboil. It's all vegetarian, so I think we'll be okay. So anyway, in 15 minutes, I have to turn the stove off. But hopefully the soup will be okay. We'll find out. I'll find out soon enough. Welcome, beloveds. For anyone that I'm getting to meet for the first time, my name is Selena. This is a 60-minute Vinyasa yoga asana practice. I'll give a little bit of an intro for the time together, and then we'll start our 60 minutes after the intro. If you need to leave early, I invite you to please take time for Shavasana so that you have that time to integrate at the end of your practice, even if you're not staying till the end. All right. Well, just a few little logistics. First of all, if you haven't seen, my new self-love course is live. So Awaken My Heart, a guide to living with self-love. You can find that on my profile page or listed under the courses. Hi, Davy. I also have mini recordings if you're new to our time together and lead live sessions. Starting next week, I'll be gone for a little bit, studying with my beloved teacher, Saima, and then we'll be back for some more sessions after the 20th of December. Let's see, what else? We have a group, Love Heals All, and all are warmly welcome to join us there in community. And I think that is it for those announcements. I always list these sessions as intermediate because I don't take the time to break down the cues for every pose the way that I would in a beginner session. So whether you find yourself very experienced in asana or this is a new experience for you, all are welcome to be here. My invitation is please honor your body, listen to your body. Take resting postures whenever you need, modify whenever you need. If you're not unsure of something, that's a great time just to watch rather than forcing anything. And in general, I like the idea, especially at the beginning of practice, but really all throughout practice, rather than ever forcing the body to do something because it's what I'm doing or what you think you're supposed to do with your body. Maybe back off a little bit. Rather than going to like 100% of the stretch or the experience, maybe come back, maybe bring it back to 80 or even 60%, whatever feels right for you. And then let your body kind of move into the experience rather than trying to take it all the way there immediately. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your donations. They support me and they also support Insight Timer staying able to keep this amazing platform alive. Okay, I think that's everything. I invite you to have a yoga mat, have any props that you like to use for your practice, blocks, blankets, mm, any, anything that you like to use. Fortunately, we live in the kitchen on one big open space, so I'm going to stir the soup right now before we get on the mat. I invite you to come down onto your mat. And take a moment here to just find some stillness. To have the knees bent, your legs straight. And from this lying position, stretch deep in the breath. Slow deep breaths. And now let's see if we can find this movement of the breath. So as you inhale, feel like your low back is pressing into the earth, your rib cage is pressing into the earth. And as you exhale, you'll feel the rib cage and the low back maybe lifting up a little bit. There might not be any change with the contact between your back body and the floor, but you might just feel this subtle movement. So you inhale, the low back presses down naturally, the rib cage presses down. Then you exhale, there's this gentle lift that happens through the spine. And of course, at the same time, the back body is moving, the front body is also moving. So we inhale, the belly expands, the rib cage expands, the chest expands. Then we exhale, and there's this softening. And while you're here, check in. What's happening in the mind? What's happening in the emotions? What's happening in the body? Can you practice being the witness rather than judging anything that you're experiencing? Inhale, reach the arms up alongside the ears. Let's take a long stretch. I know for some of you it's time for bed. For me, it's morning, so you can just stretch the body, point the toes, point the fingers. Ah, release the arms alongside the body. Bend the knees, plant the feet. Hug the right knee into the chest and release the hands in front of the knee. Option to extend the left leg down the mat. Let's roll through the right ankle here. So we're hugging the knee in close. And I can't see comments from this far away. So if there's ever an issue with the sound, let's change the directions of the ankle. Or if there's ever an issue with anything, please just throw a whole bunch of emojis into the chat, and that will alert me to come over and see what's happening. Relax the right foot, hug the knee in a little closer. Breathe deeply. Let's have this. Oh, there's something going on. I'm coming. Oh, maybe the mic isn't. Mm-mm-mm. Oh no. That whole time I was so far away from the mic and you couldn't hear me. Thank you for letting me know. Could you hear me when I was all the way over by the stove, or did you think I just left you and didn't love you? Thank you so much for letting me know. I didn't have the correct mic synced up. Apologies, friends. Thank you so much for letting me know. Sorry, I was giving you a whole loving monologue about soup and breathing in your body. All right. Well, let us continue. Thank you so much for letting me know. Look at this. Come on, friends. It took you that long to let me know you couldn't hear me. Don't be shy. This is your time. This is our time. All right. Goodness. Thank you. Okay, so we have the left knee into the chest. Extend the right leg up, or sorry, the right leg. Extend the right leg up, and let's interlace the hands behind the center of the right thigh. So not behind the knee, but behind the thigh. Flex the foot. Begin to press the thigh into the hands, creating some activity here. Beautiful, and release. Plant the right foot down, hug the left knee into the chest, and then again, option here to extend the right leg down the mat. Roll through left ankle. Allow a space between the teeth. Let's start to get comfortable with relaxing the jaw. Change directions with the ankle. Relax the foot. Let's hug the knee in a little closer. Slow, deep breaths. Extend the left leg up to the sky. Flex the left foot. Interlace the hands behind the center of the thigh. Begin to press the thigh into the hands. And release. Wonderful. Let's extend both legs down the mat. Press the low back down into the mat. Draw the navel toward the spine. If you know you're still waking your core up, or if you're still working on core strength, I invite you to plant the right foot so that you can bring the right hand underneath the right glutes a little bit, the side of the hip here, with the palm facing down. And then you can do the same thing on the other side so that the hands are facing down, but they're giving this support underneath the edges of the hips and under the glutes a little bit here. So this is a great option if you're building your core strength, or if you're just feeling like you'd like some support today. Let's extend both legs up to the sky. We have a couple of options here. Option one, again, we press the low back down, draw the navel toward the spine. Option one is to lower the right leg and take 5 rounds here, lifting and lowering the right leg. We'll inhale as we lower and exhale to draw the leg back up. And then we move on to 5 on the left side. So that's option one. Option two is we're going to alternate. So right leg comes down, and then as it comes up, the left leg comes down. So it's a bit of a scissor motion here. Chin is slightly tucked. Take whichever variation works best for your body. Keep pressing the low back down. And if you're moving both legs here, we inhale and then we exhale. So it's obviously we inhale and exhale. There's a transition here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear my breath, but I'll give you an example. So the inhale happens on the transition between the legs, and the exhale happens when you bring the legs into that L position. Beautiful. If you are doing one side and then the other, 5 and 5, you're probably complete. You can just take a rest. And if you're here with me, we'll just do 2 more rounds so that we complete over on the left. And then let's all bend the legs, bring the soles of the feet together, allow the knees to fall out wide. Give a little pulse in the legs. Relax the belly, let it be soft. Hmm. Beautiful. We'll do this one more time. Take whichever variation works for you. And again, if there's something going on with sound or anything else, please just throw a bunch of emojis in and I will come over immediately. Well, as soon as I see it, I promise. Okay, second round. Again, first option is hands behind the back if you wish, and to alternate 5 and 5, or we're going to again move side to side. So, as you wish, let's make sure we flex the feet here so the legs are really active. Press the low back down, chin is slightly tucked, and as much as you can, relax the upper body. Try to take some of that clenching and tension out of the upper body and bring the awareness into the core if possible. Use your breath. If you are moving both legs, the inhale happens in that transition, and the exhale happens when you come to that L position. The bottom foot just hovers over the mat. Beautiful, everyone. We're almost there. Waking things up with some heat in the core. If you are moving in this scissor motion with me, we will do two more. Beautiful. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Supta Baddha Konasana, little pulse in the thighs here. Find your slow, deep breathing again. Beautiful. Take the hands to the outsides of the thighs if possible. Support the legs coming back together. Lift the feet up off the floor, knees are bent. You can take the hands behind the knees or in front. And let's begin to rock and roll. So let's see if we can come all the way up to seat. Maybe the feet hover, and then we'll roll back down and rock back up. Just play here. A little bit of a massage on the muscles along the spine. And then we'll come all the way up to a seat, cross the ankles, rock the weight forward. You can always roll off onto one hip to be able to come to all fours. Beautiful. Wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. Creases of the wrists are parallel to the top of the mat. Lift the fingers, spread them wide, root back down through the base of the index fingers and thumbs. And let's just start to move here in any way that feels good. Maybe side to side, maybe some cat cow, lifting and lowering the head and the tailbone. Anything that feels good for your body today. And start to match the breath with the movement. I'll again allow that space between the teeth. Soften your lips, your face. Hmm. Wonderful. Walk the hands forward, keep them in alignment with the shoulders. Again, root back down through the base of the index fingers and thumbs. Draw the navel toward the spine. So rather than dropping the belly down here and finding this arch in the back, draw the navel and start to lengthen the lumbar spine. Tuck the toes under if they're not already. Press the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And again, let this feel good. So bend one knee at a time, reach the opposite heel back. Keep drawing the navel toward the spine so we keep this healthy engagement, supportive engagement through the core. Feel your shoulders pulling up away from your ears. And then bend both knees, heels are lifted. Drop both heels over to the left and extend that right leg so that maybe the right heel comes down toward the mat. Nice right side body stretch here. Keep rooting down through the palms. Bend the right knee, both heels drop over to the right this time. Maybe reach the left heel all the way down as we open through the left side body. Bend the left knee, bring yourself back to center, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Draw the navel toward the spine. Bend the knees, press the chest back toward the thighs.
Hug the navel in. If you have a lot of space here, you can begin to reach the heels down for the mat. Inner elbows roll forward. Crown of the head reaches toward the fingertips. 3 breaths. Inhale, look forward between your hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Press into the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Option to bend the knees, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. From here, palms touch, Anjali Mudra. Set your intention, create your sankalpa for practice today. Take a deep, full breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen up. Exhale, dive forward, option to bend the knees, draw the navel toward the spine. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. You can bring the fingertips to the shins, weight in the toes, shoulders pull back. Exhale to fold forward. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step or lightly hop back, high plank. Draw the navel toward the spine. We're going to warm up a little bit more here today. Option to stay here. Press the heels back, draw the navel in, or we're going to lower down left elbow, right elbow. Press into left palm, right palm. Lower down right elbow, left elbow. Press into right palm, left palm. Beautiful, friends. High plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees down, lower yourself through a push-up if you can, elbows staying close all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, relax the glutes, keep the elbows in close. Inhale, curl up through the spine, Bhujangasana Cobra. Pubic bone stays rooted. Exhale, press yourself up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. 3 slow, deep breaths. If there's tension in the chest, the shoulders, or the back body, I invite you to keep the knees bent here. Really press the chest back toward the thighs. Find some space here. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Option to bend the knees, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, dive forward. Fingertips to shins, flat back, micro bend in the knees, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank. Again, we'll stay here. Option to really just fire up your plank. You can always bring the knees down, or we'll play left elbow, left palm, right palm, right elbow, right palm, left palm. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees or move through chaturanga. Let's come all the way to the belly again. Elbows pull back, staying close. Inhale, curl up through the spine. Pubic bone stays connected to the earth, open through the chest. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. 3 slow, deep breaths. If you're able to comfortably bring your heels to the mat, you can start working with drawing the heels apart just a little to activate the legs. Draw the navel in, shoulders pull up away from ears. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Option to bend the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, dive. Option to bend the knees. Inhale, fingertips to shins, shoulders draw back. And let's just play here for a moment. Use your breath, so don't hold the breath here. Draw the navel in. And we all have different shaped bodies, yes, and different lengths of arms and legs. I invite you, though, to play here. If you find that your arms are bent like this, it's very likely that your back is hunching. So play with straightening your arms as much as you can. For some of us, this doesn't feel comfortable because we're still building core strength. So it's okay to have a little bend if you start to feel strain. If you don't feel a strain, but you feel muscle activation, yes, straighten the arms to find this full length of your beautiful spine. Beautiful, friends. Always have a micro bend in the knees here. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank. And then lower down to the knees or through chaturanga. Come up, cobra, or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog, where the thighs are completely off of the mat. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale the right leg up and back. Keep the hips square here. Draw the navel toward the spine. Press the chest back toward left thigh. Lift the leg a little higher. Bend the knees, stack the hips, toes fall behind. Gaze under right shoulder. Lift the knee a little higher. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Option to stay here, or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, right elbow. Remember, this is optional. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, softly step the right foot through between the hands. Maybe the ankle is below the knee here, so we have a nice wide supportive stance with the bones. Lower the back heel, hips square to the top of the mat. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, open wide, Virabhadrasana 2. Hips square to the left side of the mat, back toes slightly turned in. Stick your tailbone out behind you, tilt it under, find length in the lumbar, spine, crown of the head over the pelvis, sink a little lower, gaze over right middle finger. Right palm turns up, inhale, reverse warrior, back hand lightly touches the back leg. Exhale, elbow to thigh, extended side angle, left arm along the ear. Inhale, reverse, stay low in the hips. Exhale, extend. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Beautiful. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Drop the tailbone down. Left thumb turns up toward the sky, drawing the left shoulder away from the ear. Press into the feet. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale to windmill the hands down, lift the back heel, step the right leg back, high plank. Move through your vinyasa of choice. We will all meet in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Big toes touch. Inhale the left leg up and back. Draw the navel toward the spine. Hips are square here. Bend the left knee. Stack the hips. Toes fall behind. Lift the knee a little higher. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Option to stay here, or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, softly step left foot through between the hands. Lower the back heel. Hips are square to the top of the mat. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Bend in the left knee. Open the arms wide. Virabhadrasana 2. Back toes are still slightly turned in. Hips are now square to the right side of the mat. Stick your tailbone out behind you and then tilt it underneath to lengthen the lumbar spine. Crown of the head is over the pelvis. Sink a little lower. Maybe gently press your left knee out to the left. So maybe you can see your left big toe. Again, we all have different bodies. Gaze over left, middle finger. Drop the shoulders down with the breath. Left palm turns up. Inhale to reverse. Back hand lightly touches back leg. Exhale, extended side angle. Elbow to thigh. Reach the arm along the ear. Inhale, reverse. Stay low in the hips. Exhale to extend. Soften the face. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Beautiful. Stay here. 3 breaths. Right thumb turns up so that your palm is facing behind you. Yes. Shoulders pull away from ears naturally in this position. Last breath here. Press into the feet. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, windmill the hands down, lift the back heel, step the left leg back, high plank, and then move through your vinyasa or just come to downward facing dog. Your choice. 3 slow, deep breaths in downward facing dog. Creases of the wrists are parallel to the top of the mat. Bend the knees if you need that space. Navel hugs in. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Pause. What's happening inside? Mind, emotions, body. Recall your sankalpa. Repeat that inside. Find your breath again, consciousness in your practice, presence in your practice. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen. Exhale, draw the navel toward the spine, dive or fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, fingertips to shins, draw the elbows, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank. Move through your vinyasa or just come to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, big toes touch. Inhale the right leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips, toes fall behind. Lift the knee a little higher. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, optional. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross the body, left elbow. Option to stay here or extend the right leg through to the outer edge of the right foot. Roll to the inside of the left foot. Weight in the right hand. Lift the left arm up. Extend it over the ear. Press the hips up to the sky. Nice wide Vashisthasana here. Lift the hips a little higher. You can root down through that left foot. Breathe. Come up out of that bottom shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down. Kick the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. And then we'll all softly step the right foot through between the hands. Lower the back heel. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1, hips square to the top of the mat. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. You may need to widen your stance a little bit. Hips square to the left side, tailbone out, tilt it under. Find this nice supportive position for your beautiful spine. Right palm turns up. Inhale, reverse, stay low. Exhale, extend. Inhale, reverse. Backhand just lightly touches the back leg. Exhale to extend. Left arm reaches along the ear. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Heel toe the back foot in a little closer so the stance is shorter. Back toes are still slightly turned in, and right toes still point toward the top of the mat. Hips are still square to the left side of the mat. We're going to play with Trikonasana here, triangle pose. This may be different for some of you as we really work with more strength and keeping this nice alignment for the spine here. Extend the arms out. Gazes over right middle finger. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach out through that right arm and then just move the arms. Keep your torso where it is. So there's this nice length on both sides of the body. Lift your right toes up. Activate the right leg. And if this feels like a strain, then you can just come up out of it as much as you need so that you're only working the obliques and the core as much as it feels good for your body. Feel that right hip dropping under and the left fingers pulling you up rather than the weight dropping down. Beautiful, friends. 2 more breaths. Press into the feet. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands come to the hips. Bend the front knee. Bring your back toes in. So now the left toes are pointing forward and the right toes are pointing forward as well. And both feet are kind of in their own lane. So the right foot is in alignment with the right hip and the left foot is in alignment with the left hip. And you can see here, my back toes are still turned out a little bit to the left. So the heel is down. Hips are square to the front. Draw the navel toward the spine. We have a few options here. One option is just to keep the hands to the hips. Another option, if you wish, is to bring the hands behind the back and take opposite elbows. And then another option is to take reverse namaste here by bringing the fingers together and then the hands together behind the back, if that's available to you. So take whichever arm position works best for your body. Again, draw the navel toward the spine, lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. Root down through the right big toe and then feel your right hip pulling back in space rather than being popped forward. Beautiful, everyone. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then if it feels good, exhale, curl the spine, bringing the forehead closer to maybe the shin if that's in a world of possibility. Wherever you are, breathe and only do what feels good for your body. 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. Press into the feet, draw the navel toward the spine to stand all the way up. Release the hand position if you have the arms behind the back. Bend into the front knee, gracefully lift the back leg. Find yourself back into Virabhadrasana 1, facing the top of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, touch down. Lift the back heel, step the right leg back, high plank. Move through your vinyasa, or again, just come to downward facing dog if that serves you best today. You can always skip the transition. Beautiful. Big toes touch. Inhale the left leg up and back. Bend the knees, stack the hips. Lift the knee a little higher if that feels good. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Option to bring the knee to the nose as you exhale. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross the body. Right elbow, option to stay here. Extend the leg through to the outside of the foot. Roll to the inside of the right foot. Lift the hips up. Reach the right arm up. Maybe it comes over the ear. Maybe you reach the right foot down. Press the hips up. Beautiful, everyone. Breathe. Maybe smile even for a moment. And wherever you are, especially if you're not here, it's totally okay. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down. Kick the left leg up, three-legged dog. Let's all softly step the left foot through between the hands. Lower the back heel. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, open up, Virabhadrasana 2. Beautiful. Hips are square to the right, yes? Open the arms. Find that length in the lumbar spine. Left palm turns up. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extend. Stay low, if you can. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, right arm alongside the ear. Inhale. Exhale, beautiful. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Heel toe the back foot in a little. So the stance is a bit shorter. Back toes are still slightly turned in. Hips are still square to the right side of the mat. Trikonasana, side 2. So again here, what we often see in Trikonasana is there is this big twist in the spine. And we're playing with keeping the spine really aligned with the pelvis without any twist in this variation. Draw the navel toward the spine, gaze over left middle finger. Inhale. Exhale, extend out through the left arm and then keep the torso where it is. Just move the arms. Lift the front toes. And again, if this feels like it's too much of a strengthening, you can lift up out of it as much as you need. Shoulders pull away from ears. Feel like the right arm and fingers are lifting you up out of the pose. Beautiful, everyone. 3 more breaths. Maybe the gaze turns up toward the right thumb. Soften the lips. Press into the feet. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release the arms down. Beautiful. Bend into the front knee. Lift the back foot so you can turn the toes toward the top of the mat more. And again, each foot is in its own lane here with its own hip. Draw the navel toward the spine and take whichever arm variation works best for you here. Hands to hips, opposite elbows, or again, if you're taking this reverse Anjali Mudra, oop, there's the mic cord. You bring the hands behind the back. So choose whichever variation works best for you. And if you find that bringing your hands or your hands to your elbows behind your back does this with your spine, draw the navel in, draw those lower ribs in, feel the tailbone reaching down. Very nice. Relax the shoulders down. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge forward. And then again from here, feel like you're pressing into your left big toe and pulling the left hip back in space. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, if it feels good, curl the spine, maybe bringing your forehead a little closer to the shin. And as a loving reminder, comparison is the thief of joy. So can you be with your experience where you are and maybe even just practice gratitude for wherever you are today? 2 more breaths. Inhale to press into the feet, draw the navel toward the spine. Beautiful. Release your hand position if the hands are behind the back. Bend into the front knee gracefully or as gracefully as you can. Lengthen your stance again. Just a little here. Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, touch down. Lift the back heel. Step the left leg back. Move through your vinyasa. Adho Mukha Svanasana, 3 slow, deep breaths. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat and fold forward. Press into the feet, draw the navel toward the spine, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. Okay, a little bit of balance play here. Take the arms out to the sides and then cross the elbows over one another, if possible, yes. And maybe bring the forearms closer together with the backs of the hands closer together. And if you're here comfortably, maybe you're able to actually bring the palms to touch with the fingers pointing back toward the face. Now, some of us are out here. It's okay. Again, as always, we all have different bodies, yes? So maybe the thumbs are pointing back toward the face. Let's bend into the knees and draw the navel toward the spine. From here, bring the weight over into the right foot, cross the left leg over, and maybe wrap the toes behind. Beautiful. Drop your hips back behind you like we're coming into Utkatasana. Bring the weight into that back heel. Draw the navel toward the spine. Beautiful, everyone. Garudasana, eagle pose. Focus your drishti, gaze is looking at one spot. And if you're not doing the leg position, you can just work with the arm position. Relax the jaw. If it feels good, maybe lift the elbows, give a little bit of a stretch in your beautiful arms. Sink a little lower. Beautiful. Rise up, uncross the legs. Extend your left leg forward, flex the foot. Keep your spine nice and long and begin to hinge forward. Bring that left leg behind you. Draw the navel toward the spine. Virabhadrasana 3, eagle arms. Micro bend in the standing leg. Keep dropping the left hip down. Press into the standing leg. Rise up. Beautiful. Release the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Lovely. Give a little shake. Second side. Open the arms out wide. This time, what is this arm for you? Left arm on top of right. Maybe bend if that feels okay. Maybe bring the palms to touch with the thumbs pointing back toward the face. Bend into the knees. Draw the navel toward the spine. Cross right knee over left. Maybe tuck the toes behind. Remember, wherever you are is totally great. Be there. Draw the navel in. Sink the weight back into the heel. Sink a little lower. Gaze is focused on one spot, on the floor or the wall ahead of you. Maybe lift the elbows. Remember, it's perfectly okay if you're just working with the arms. Draw the navel in. Nice. Press into the standing leg. Rise up. Uncross the top leg. Extend the right leg forward. Flex the foot. And then hinge back. Keep the navel hugging in. Long spine, flat back here. Keep that right foot flexed. Drop the right hip down. Virabhadrasana 3, Garudasana bind here. Beautiful. Press into the standing leg. Rise up. Release the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Shake it out. Hands, feet, shoulders, spine. Just give a little loving shake here. This is a great reminder. Many of you are probably aware of this, but often in our lives, when we feel a lot of anxiety or we feel really uncomfortable or we feel like that internal pressure of emotion or just kind of that funk of emotion, it's so powerful to take on a movement practice. Even if you just take a 5-minute dance party or do 7 sun salutations or just shake it out and just move your body around. It's so powerful, not only because of the endorphins that it releases, but because it moves the stagnant energy that is not moving freely in the energetic systems of the body. And it helps get us out of the mind, which is a big contributor, of course, to the continuation of those feelings inside. So use your beautiful body. If you're in that place inside where things are feeling sticky or funky or whatever it is, trust your body. Let it help you move that energy. Ah, beautiful. Final vinyasa. Let's come to the top of the mat if you're not there already. Palms touch at the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Draw the navel toward the spine. Inhale, half lift and lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step or lightly hop back, and then move through your final transition of today's practice. Ah, beautiful. And then let's come down to the belly. Let's take a moment here in Sphinx pose. Elbows are maybe beneath the shoulders, palms flat, fingers point forward. If you have a lot of space here, you can begin to press into the forearms and reach the chest forward. Pubic bone is in contact with the mat. Beautiful. Again, bring your awareness into your body. Practice being present via the sensations of your physicality rather than being in the mind and the mind taking us here and there. Make your way all the way down. Bring the forehead to the mat. Bring the arms alongside the body with the backs of the hands pressing down. Bring the legs closer together. Press your pubic bone down firmly into the mat. We'll come up for Ardha Lotus pose here, Ardha Shalabhasana. Pubic bone presses down. You can gently press into the backs of the hands. Inhale, lift the upper body only. So we're using the strength of the beautiful back, waking up one of these power centers. Chin is slightly tucked here, so the back of the neck is long. Lift a little higher. Option to stay here with the hands down, or you can bring the arms out, alongside the ears to add a little more weight and opportunity to strengthen. Inhale. Exhale, let's lower it down. Arms alongside the body, forehead to the mat. Relax the shoulders. Bring the legs closer together if they've somehow spread apart. So we have the option here to take Ardha Shalabhasana again, the way we just did. The arms alongside the body is a great way to build into the strength of this pose. So I wholeheartedly welcome you to stay there if that's where you feel you are today. Otherwise, we have the option to come up with the arms alongside the ears or come up into the full or the upper and lower body aspect of the pose into Shalabhasana locust pose. So let's again begin by pressing the pubic bone down firmly into the earth. If you wish, you can extend the arms alongside the ears with the thumbs pointing up toward the sky. Again, make sure the pubic bone is pressing down, and then we'll lift upper and maybe lower body as well if that's where you are today. Beautiful, friends. Keep the legs from splaying. Allow them to stay in closer. Lift yourself a little higher. Breathe here. Soften the face, the jaw. Let's take 3 to 5 more breaths. Lift a little higher. And whenever you're ready to come down, bring one cheek to the mat, arms alongside the body, and just let it all go. Let the weight of the body melt into the earth. Notice what's happening inside as you move this energy this way. Beautiful. As always, in our alignment based practice together, we will avoid an opposing stretch after a back bend. So let's plant the palms, fingers point forward. You can bring the forehead of the chin to the mat. Press yourself up, and then rather than bringing the hips to the heels the way you may want to, let's make our way onto the back. So the idea is that rather than bringing the knees into the chest, which many of us kind of feel we want to do, we take a twist after a back bend instead, so we don't strain the lumbar spine. So once you're on your back, knees are bent, arms out to the sides. You can bend the elbows if you need more space. Walk your feet in close to your hips. Lift your feet and allow both knees to fall over to the right. Left shoulder stays rooted, and you can turn your chin toward your left shoulder. Feel free to use your right hand to assist that top leg down. And if you feel like you are not receiving any benefit or any stretch here, you can play with crossing that left knee over the right to deepen the experience, or any other position that you know helps you deepen the experience. But as I started saying to myself some time ago, and I share it here in our practices from time to time, in asana, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Sometimes our bodies are flexible enough for something, but we haven't developed the muscle awareness or strength to avoid injury. Recall your sankalpa, bring it into your mind, into your heart. Slowly move through center and bring the knees over to the left. Chin turns toward right shoulder. Right shoulder stays rooted if possible. And again, you can use that left hand if you wish to support the right leg coming down a little. What are you grateful for today? Grateful for about your life, about yourself? Full body twists are really wonderful, of course, for the back, but also for the neck. Some of us hold a lot of tension in the neck from being on the computer or driving or just always having our heads down, writing or reading or looking at our phones. So, making sure that the head is part of this twist, if that's comfortable, is really healthy for the spine. Let's slowly come back to center. Allow the knees to come wide. Reach up for the outer edges, the outer shins or the outer edges of the feet. And if you're able to take the feet, maybe the ankles come over the knees with the knees splaying wide. Maybe the soles of the feet are able to turn up toward the sky. Chin is slightly tucked, back of the neck is long, hair and happy baby. You can rock a little from side to side or move in any way that feels nourishing in this pose. One more slow, deep breath here. And then we'll take yogi's choice. Excuse me. Release the feet. We'll just take about 1 minute here for anything your body is needing. Maybe you wish you have an inversion practice and you'd like to take an inversion. Maybe you'd like to do a stretch for the glutes. Whatever you're needing, go ahead and take about a minute here. It's not very long, I know, to give yourself any final bit of support. If you're not really sure what to do, you may wish to take Supta Baddha Konasana with me by bringing the soles of the feet together, knees wide, one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And we'll just take these last few moments for whatever you're needing before we take Shavasana together. I see some of you are sharing in the chat. Maybe this means you're leaving early today, so thank you for being here. Again, for anyone who's leaving early, please always take Shavasana. Give yourself this gift of stillness and integration. If your extra pose requires two sides, make sure you've switched. If you're already here with me in Supta Baddha Konasana or in Shavasana, take a few moments to consciously slow the breath down. When we come into Shavasana, we let it all go. We let control of the breath go. We let control of the mind go. We do our best to release all sense of manipulation and action and practice becoming the witness. So if the breath is shallow, we let it be shallow. If the mind is running everywhere, we let it run everywhere. Our task is to allow it to be without following the thoughts, which of course is a journey in itself. If you haven't already, I invite you to come to completion with your final pose for yourself, and then we'll all make our way into Shavasana by bringing the legs down the mat, feet wide, toes full out to the sides. Arms alongside the body with the palms up to the sky. You can tuck the shoulders underneath you if that feels good. Chin is slightly tucked. Close the eyes, make any little adjustments that you need so that you can settle into stillness. We even have the invitation in Shavasana to let all of those little sensations that we would normally react to just be. If there's an itch or if there's a hair blowing or if there's something that would make us normally be in reaction, we practice just letting it be. It's actually a very powerful mindfulness technique because most of us are reacting to everything in our lives as if we have to do something about it immediately. But what we find is the more we practice stillness or presence or allowing, things come into a natural balance. So allow the thoughts to start to pass one by one. Feel the weight of the body melting down into the earth. And for these next few moments, just allow yourself to be. I invite you to stay here, nourish, rest for as long as you can. If you're ready to complete practice, notice the sensations of contact between your body and the floor. Feel how your body is supported. Feel your body breathing. Start to deepen your breath and slowly move the fingers and toes. Feel the jaw hang relaxed. Move the wrists and ankles. Take a deep breath in. Reach the arms up alongside the ears. Stretch. Exhale through the mouth. Bend your knees. Roll over to one side. Use your bottom arm as a pillow for a moment. Just let yourself be held here. Let the weight of your body sink down. Let your heart be held in this moment. You are so loved. So loved. When you're ready, press into your hands to rise up to a seat with the eyes closed. Recall your sankalpa. Palms touch in Anjali Mudra. We'll complete with our closing chant, offering the benefit of our practice to all beings in all time and space, all creation. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu 3 times. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a breath in. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Waves of love and light bathing us from source. I love you so. You are so loved. And I know sometimes we feel very alone. You're not alone. And if you don't have any community, or you are not feeling like you have community, I invite you to come join us in the Love Heals All group here on the app and just come be together. If you're having a challenging time, go ahead and share it. If you have a question, share it. If you'd like to just pour your love and light to someone else, share it. You're not alone, my love. I'm coming back to be with you for a moment. Mm, thank you all. Thanks, Mommy. Thanks for joining us. And it's such a treat that you came and joined us today. Oh, Sandra Lee, you shouldn't have donated. Oh, thank you, Neil. Thank you, Yari. Great to be together. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Denise. Oh, wonderful, Denise. I don't know if you're still here, but wonderful. Oh, hi, darling Julia. Oh, look, so beautiful to be together. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Cindy Lou. I'm so grateful for our time together. Mm, so wonderful. Thank you, Molly. If you'd like to be together more, stay connected, there is a link on my profile page where you can click on it and we can stay more connected. Yes, Yasmin, great to be together. Mm, thank you, April. Satnam. Me too. So much gratitude. What a great blessing to be together. I know so often we feel very alone. Thank you, Sawadi. I'm so grateful to be together. And if anyone is unfamiliar, our beloved Sawadi is an incredible teacher here on the app. Beautiful soul. Yes, yes, it is. I'm very blessed. Very, very, very blessed. You're not alone. I know we really feel it sometimes. Here's my invitation, because sometimes, someone says that to us and we're like, yeah, you don't know my life. You don't know how alone I am. You don't know how much pain I'm in. You don't know how alone I feel. If you wish, I invite you to consider if you have any kind of spiritual notion, let's start there. If you have any sense of believing in God or spirit, Allah, source, goddess, creation, I invite you to consider that these this presence is always with you and always loving you. Maybe for you it's your ancestors or your spirit guides or your angels. I invite you to consider that they are always with you. Hi, Linda. Beautiful, my love. They're always here. And there's this beautiful teaching that I've actually come across from different traditions that says, because in this experience as soul in human form on this planet, we have free will. And because of this free will, we must call on the support from our beloveds. Otherwise, they're just here loving us, but they don't interfere with all of our messy human experience. So the invitation is call on your beloveds. Oh, my beloved soul, I need you. Oh, my beloved God, Allah, Buddha, Master, Goddess, I need you. Fill me with your love. Fill me with your courage. Fill me with the knowingness that I am always loved. Fill me with the strength and the perseverance to keep moving forward. Fill me with the tenderness of your love. Help me feel that I am not alone. Help me get through this challenging time. Help me see the clear path. Help me know myself better. Help me forgive. Whatever it is, thank you. Thank you for granting me the grace of forgiveness, however you speak to your beloveds. And if you don't believe that there's any presence unseen in your life serving you, then I invite you, this is going to sound silly, then I invite you to join the course I just released. It's called Awaken My Heart, A Guide to Living with Self-Love. And I know that might also seem a little silly, but I can share from personal experience that even though I've been very spiritual, from consciously spiritual, because we're all spiritual, in my opinion, from the time that I was born and very immersed in spirituality. It wasn't until I started really learning and practicing to love myself that I felt a fullness inside that I had never known before. And of course, that's an invitation for everyone to to join the course here on the app. And if you have the plus, like if you pay for the yearly membership, all of the courses are included. So just come be with us. And if you don't have the membership, it's like $20. I know that's big for some of us right now, so I honor that. But it's an investment in your relationship with your beloved self. Yeah, it's the most invaluable investment we could ever make on the planet. And if you don't do it with me, there are so many other self-love courses and workshops and ways to really be with yourself in a loving way. So I wholeheartedly welcome you to join me in the course, or go wherever you choose to, so that you can meet yourself with compassion and love and kindness. Yes, I agree. Zawadi, beautiful. Yeah, and I hear that. I hear that. I think so many of us need to hear this and be reminded of it. Yeah. It's so easy to get lost in the Maya and the illusion of the separateness and feel that tremendous pain. And I'll share one more thing before we complete today. I was re-listening to a discourse that my beloved teacher Saima was giving, and it was from this past summer. I was listening to it last night. And I know for me, oh, here come the tears. Well, first of all, I'll share this in brief. I know many of us need to go, so I'll keep this more concise because I could talk in an hour on this topic. I remember one time many, many years ago, I was in an intimate course with Saima. There were only like 20 or 30 of us there. It was a training. And I remember I was in my probably early 20s and suffering quite a bit and feeling pretty alone, like I have felt most of my life in many ways, especially when it comes to relationships with others. And I asked Saima like why it was so difficult for me to really have like my people or like my, close friends or whatever it was at the time. And the 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 essential message that Ma gave was that for many, the conscious spiritual path of awakening, meaning we're consciously choosing it, is a very lonely one. And I know many of you can relate to that. And fast forward 15, however many years later, I was listening to this discourse from this summer last night. And Ma said something, and it just really touched me because I feel like I can get so hard on myself. Even though I practice so much self-compassion and self-love, I think there are times when my mind is like, how can I still feel so separate? How can I still have this pain come up? How can there still be this stuff here when I've done all of this work and I feel like I've expanded my consciousness so much? And in the discourse, Ma was saying, basically just honoring everyone who was at the course because it was a live event, and just honoring that we chose the path of awakening. Saima was sharing how most human beings do not choose the conscious path of awakening because it's just too difficult. It's so much easier to stay asleep in the beautiful human dream of messiness. It's so much easier to just have the relationship and the job and the kids and then die. It's so much easier to stay in the illusion of separateness, which is a lot of suffering too, yeah? But it's so much easier to stay in that. The path of choosing our awakening, it's a full-on thing because we can feel caught in a place where there's nothing, where it feels like, what is this life worth living? And of course, any of us can feel that at any time. So I'm not sure that I'm articulating this well enough, but I hope you can feel the essence of what I'm sharing. That if you have chosen the path of awakening, which means you are meditating, you're honoring yourself, you're serving yourself, you're choosing to do the inner work, you're choosing to face the discomfort, you're choosing to do the healing work. If you are in this conscious path of awakening, honor yourself, be so grateful to yourself, because most human beings do not choose this because it's just too difficult. The path of awakening is the facing of all of these things inside. And it's the most difficult thing there is. Yeah. Yeah, Zawadi. This path is not for the weak. Yeah. Yeah. And I love what you shared here. This is where I'm at right now. How can I still be experiencing this much suffering after so many years on this journey? Yeah. And I guess what comes up for me is One, this beautiful teaching that suffering is the catalyst for awakening. I don't think it has to be, but for so many of us, suffering is the catalyst for awakening. We see the suffering as the bad guy. Oh no, the suffering's coming closer. It's coming closer. It shouldn't be here. I'm supposed to be bliss. I'm supposed to be happy, right? We're like rejecting the suffering. But the suffering, when we just bring it into our heart and we're like, okay, that's when we wake up. And we do it over and over and over again, right? We embrace the suffering again and again and again and again. And each time it's like we crack open a little more. It's like that Rumi quote, right? The wound is where the light enters. But for many of us, the ego is still caught in the paradigm that the suffering is bad. And so we were like, oh no, I'm supposed to be happy. But I just invite that this is also, I mean, there's so many layers here. I'm actually offering a course soon where we're going to go into a lot of this, the awakening journey, because it's not black and white. It's not just one thing. There are many elements to it. Part of it is the mastery of the mind and the emotions, so that we're not just lost in the experience of the suffering. And part of it is the allowing, the embracing of the wholeness of the experience. And I find for me there is a balance, because if I'm in an experience of my untrained mind, of my undisciplined mind, then it will take me back to suffering again and again. So I feel like sometimes there's maybe a distinction to be made between the unmastered mind and emotions recreating suffering or creating suffering, and suffering arising. And maybe what I'm saying is contradictory, and it's all just about allowing. Maybe that's really where enlightenment exists. Just allowing it all, just welcoming the entire experience 2 billion% without any resistance. That feels right. How we get there? Working it out, right? This is the last thing I'll say. And I know that's like that should be my motto, like on my gravestone, which I don't know if I'll ever have one, but it'll say just one more thing. I'll just say one more thing. And then I come back as a spirit and I'm like, just one more thing. Oh, that's too good. I'm cracking myself up here. Just one more thing. And now I've forgotten it, but I'll remember it. Hold on. Just one more thing is oh, come on, Selena. It was a good one more thing. Um, we're talking about the awakening process and just allowing and accepting and embracing. Oh, it's right there on the tip of my mind. Oh, oh shoot, I forgot it. But maybe I was supposed to have it come up just so that we could have a little laugh together. Um mm, it was something about the awakening process. Ah, yes. Hallelujah. Some of you have heard me share this before. You're so funny, mommy. I'm so blessed you're here, that you're my mommy, my beautiful, precious mommy. Sandy is my mama. I love you so much. I miss you so much. And I'm so excited we get to be together just next week. Many years ago, I actually shared this recently. I was at an event with my beloved teacher, Saima, and I was speaking to a dear mentor and brother of mine now, um, who is one of the brahmacharis or the monks in Saima's order. And he's taken a vow to serve and be devoted to the light and the awakening of the planet. And I was asking him at the time, because he's a very elevated in his consciousness being. And whenever I'm around him, I'm like, you're so enlightened. How do I be that way? And I asked him, I said, I've had these profound awakening experiences where I've tasted states of enlightenment, at least as far as I understand it, profound experiences of peace and oneness and the illusion just falling away. And then I'm just back in the mire. I'm back in the suffering. I'm back in the mud. And he said, for some of us, the experience of awakening happens like that. Boom, like, and we've heard different stories about that. Different spiritual masters share about this. Two that come to mind are Byron Katie and Eckhart Tolle, these beings who just, were in the throes of suffering, and then all of a sudden they were awake. He said, but for many of us, the awakening experience happens. He didn't say the word phases, but I could say it like that. It happens in phases, where it's like we have this experience of our oneness, and then we're back in the experience of the illusion. We have this experience of divinity, and then we're back in the experience of suffering. And it just goes on and on like this. And he said, many of us have this kind of experience because it will allow us to serve others in their awakening. Because if we just wake up and we pop into awakening, we haven't gone through all of the throes of the suffering and different layers and experience to serve others and say, you might be experiencing this. It might look like this. It might look like this. So for those of us who are in this journey of the layers of the awakening, it gives us the ability to say, oh yeah, you might be experiencing this, but keep going. You're right on track. Oh yeah, you're experiencing tremendous suffering right now. It's okay. Be kind with yourself. You're right where you need to be. So when we have this process of the suffering awakening, it gives us the ability to hold greater compassion for those in the suffering. It gives us the ability to hold greater compassion for ourselves. And it gives us the conscious awareness of how the path might look. And it won't look the same for each of us, but there are many, so many, whose path will look very similar to yours, and you will be able to serve them. And you might not be a teacher out in the world, sharing with thousands of people or millions of people, but maybe you just meet someone on the train one day and you have a spontaneous, deep conversation and you serve their soul deeply. Maybe you just meet someone at the park, or you meet someone in some kind of online or in-person group you're part of, and where you are in your spiritual awakening journey offers them some insight for theirs. So, Zawadi, I don't know if you're still here. Zawadi, I don't know if you're still here, but I hope that might give your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul and heart some comfort in considering that this is the soul's journey that you've chosen so that you can serve so many. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, we're all in this. We're all here together. We're here together. And we are one. We are the one having the experience of many, getting to be in the illusion of separateness. So I love you so. I'm going to have one more laugh on thinking about my gravestone saying just one more thing. It's going to be that, and I love you so. Just one more thing. I love you so. Because I do. With all that I am. I'm so grateful to you. I'm so grateful for you. You beautiful, 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 precious being. I love you, Tara. I love you. So enjoy, be gentle, be kind, train your beautiful mind, train your beautiful emotions, step into this path of mastery so that you can find those moments. And maybe all of it is just about allowing, as my beloved Saima says, just allow. Maybe that's where it all is. Because the moment we stop resisting what is, maybe we recognize that all is imperfection. The moment we stop judging something as wrong, whether it's an emotion or something happening within us or outside of us, the moment we stop fighting what is the moment we rest in that presence. And when we rest in presence, we can be in that space of welcoming everything. And when we can welcome everything, we show up in this dream world where there's a lot of imperfection, yes. We show up in the dream world from this place of loving awareness, from this place of loving presence, so we can still help to create this dream world to be more beautiful and more loving and more harmonious. And it comes from our inner world being in that place. This is your dream. If you haven't read the Four Agreements or any of the books in that line of consciousness, I invite you to. I love you. There's no you and there's no I. There's only this, the grace of love. Let's stay connected. Reach out to me. Check out the website on my profile page. Join our live sessions. We'll be together a few more times this week, and then we'll have a little pause between our sessions. With great, great, great reverence to you, beloved. Great reverence and love and devotion. My heart is yours. Blessings, beloveds. If you're here on YouTube, I'm just now seeing your chats because we have the live session on Insight Timer. I warmly welcome you to come to Insight Timer for our live sessions. If you see me streaming here live, come over to the free Insight Timer app so that I can see your chats and that we can be together. Love you.